Temp check. What kind of summer are we having this year? A family road trip summer? A beach bum summer? Or a wake me up when the sun sets summer? With Instacart, choose your own adventure and skip the shopping side quests. Where available, you can get ice cream delivered to your hotel, sunscreen to the pool, or cold brew to your bed. Well, door, in as fast as 30 minutes. Wherever you find yourself this summer, you can get the goods. Download Instacart for free delivery on your first 3 orders. Offer valid for a limited time. Minimum $10 per order. Excludes restaurants. Additional terms and fees apply.
Everyone has moments in life they just can't stop thinking about. Like that one time in middle school when you called your teacher mom. Yeah, that's not leaving your brain anytime soon. Or something amazing like the first time you really traveled and got to see how big and beautiful the world is. And on Baby, This is Keke Palmer, hosted by me, Keke Palmer, and presented by BMW, we know to savor the good memories and let go of the bad. And one thing everyone remembers fondly is their first time behind the wheel of a BMW. So come join me and BMW this summer as we explore pop culture moments and topics you just can't stop thinking about on Baby, This is Keke Palmer. Sponsored by BMW, the ultimate driving machine.
Listening, can't you see? I'm listening to RTP, and I'm gonna tell you why. I think this pod is fly. They'll watch a movie show, talking smack about romance. Then Mikey says something dumb. Todd wears 10 pairs of pants. Paige, Mikey, and Todd. Paige, Mikey, and Todd. Oh, I love you, baby. Romance in the pod. Paige, Mikey, and Todd. Paige, Mikey, and Todd. Well, I need you, baby. Romance in the pod. Woo!
Thank you for tuning into Romance in the Pod. You had us at hello. I'm Paige Wesley.
I'm Mikey Randolph. Bask in my presence.
And I'm Todd Schlosser. And joining us today is the prodigal host, Mikey Randolph. And Paige decided to punish Mikey for wanting to guest by making us watch.
It's tradition!
These two have been recording so many episodes, and then this is the one they're like, we want you back.
Well, we watch them every 365 days.
We do, honestly. And so this year we watched the next 365 days.
Yes.
I think they're named 365 because it feels like a year when you watch them.
It is all just silent montages of them staring into the middle distance.
This is the movie. It's a bunch of music videos strung together with sex scenes. And I got to be honest, I liked it better when Blues Boys 2000 did it.
I will say that I hate these films.
Same.
Sure.
And I hated this one the most.
Yeah, I agree 100%, Mikey.
I hate this one the most too. I feel like they unfortunately tried to make them better and in doing so made it less enjoyable because the first two are fucking nuts and the English is all weird and it makes no sense. And in this one, they clearly got the note. They got someone in. The English is mostly correct. And so that's not there to laugh at.
Yeah.
They took out most of the makeover montages and there's an actual story. And you're like, no, what? Why?
Is there an actual story, Paige?
I wouldn't go that far. There's 2 plot points, Paige. 1 an hour. 1 an hour.
Yeah.
1 an hour.
That's all you're allotted of plot in this movie.
The first half of the movie is her being like, I kind of miss Nacho. And then the second half is, I fucked Nacho.
I fucked Nacho, yeah.
Now, okay, hang on. I haven't seen one of these movies for a year. So naturally, I remembered nothing. Did she have sex with Nacho in the second one?
She did not.
No.
So she didn't fuck with carbs in the second one.
She did not.
In this movie, she fucks with carbs.
She dreamed about fucking with carbs in the second one, but they didn't actually do it in real life. They just kissed.
Can I?
You want the recap?
Yes.
Well, okay, at the end of the last one, Todd, if I remember correctly, Musafo's... What's his Mustabi's twin brother.
Mustabi's when Stabbies.
His twin brother was working with a female other mafia and another guy, Nacho.
Yes.
And then the girl shot her and then shot and killed the twin brother.
Yes.
And then Nacho stopped her, and then Massimo's shot her.
I think Nacho shot her.
Okay.
Okay.
But also, Mikey, I want to start a podcast where a year after you watch a movie, you explain it to me.
That should be our revisited episode. It's just 2 minutes long.
We should just not be allowed to watch it again.
Yeah.
And then we have to like talk about it. Yes. Mikey. Yes.
I'm sorry. This is Mikey being like, if I remember correctly, Mustafa.
He confidently said the name of someone not in this movie.
Mitsubishi's twin brother came over and seduced the other girl to make her think that Masamichi was cheating.
I'm sorry. Mustafa just got me. Because that's not even a name.
It sounded a little bit like Mufasa, which is why I went with the Lion King bit.
Machado?
Oh, have you ever had a Starbucks Machado, guys? They're so good.
I go with the Mustafa with an extra shot.
There was no flashbacks or anything, but like I liked Muffalato's twin or whatever.
Adriano.
That's the same thing. Italian stuff just sounds the same.
Alfredo, yes.
They're like, you already sound like a Linguini family. And I was like, this is all dumb. These names are dumb.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Okay.
I'm no longer employed. I'll just be like, oh, how dare you mess with the spaghetti family? The spaghetti family never forgets.
Oh, the DiGiornos will take their revenge. Okay, actual recap. First movie. He kidnaps Laura.
Yeah, he kidnapped her every day for a year. We get it. Yeah.
Yeah, he kidnapped her every day for
They
a
have
year.
sex in a cathedral-looking shower. Yeah.
Yeah, oh, hell yeah. But then something happens in the tunnel. We never see what happens in the tunnel.
That's right.
It's just referred to later. In the second movie, Adriano, Massimo's brother.
Twin brother. Identical twin brother.
Identical twin brother, except that Adriano's kind of cracky.
Played by Massimo.
Yeah, played also by Massimo.
Yes.
Aligns with the rival crime family who is Nacho's father. And
the Linguinis.
The Linguinis. Massimo's ex, Anna, also aligns. So Anna and Adriano have a sexual relationship. They conspicuously do it so that Laura sees, pushing her into the arms of Nacho, and then Nacho technically kidnaps her.
Oh, that's right, because she thinks Massimo is cheating on her. Yeah.
Right. So Nacho takes her away. So kind of like a secret kidnapping where she doesn't realize she's been kidnapped.
She's been kidnapped by misinformation, like all of our parents.
Yeah.
I wish these movies could be remade with AI with just the cast of the McDonald's playground.
like the Hamburglar?
And Grimace.
Wait, who plays who?
The bird
who
lady.
Who plays who?
The bird lady would have to play.
To be Laura, because it's the only woman.
And Ronald McDonald as Massimo.
That's Massimo.
Uh-huh.
Who's going to play Mustafa?
His brother?
No, that's not it. His brother is Adriano. And that's gotta be the Hamburglar.
It's just Ronald McDonald with a mustache.
I love that.
Under the clown nose, it's just like a mustache.
It's just a mustache.
And Nacho is Grimace.
Not the Hamburglar? I feel like Nacho should be the Hamburglar because he burgling that puss.
Because he's Mr. Gonna Steal Your Girl's Burger. You know what I'm saying?
No, the Hamburglar is his ex-girlfriend.
Wait, why is the ex-girlfriend the Hamburglar?
Because it's maximum funniness.
Okay, anyway.
Because at the end, the hamburger would slow motion shoot Laura.
Yes, because at the end they have like a Mexican standoff.
And then Nacho Grimace would slow motion shoot her. I don't know. I think this would work.
You know what? I'm not going to question your methods.
There's like 3 other characters that I don't know the names of at McDonald's, and one of them is the bird lady. So
my brain said Frylock, and that's Aqua Teen Hunger Force. But so the end is that giant room where they're like, we're going to shoot her, and they walk from like 2 gymnasiums away.
Yes.
Do you remember?
Wait, this is old school, but like Massimo should be Ronald McDonald and Nacho be the Moon Man, who was the guy before.
Oh, the late night Moon Man.
Yeah. But he was in McDonald's stuff for a while.
Anyway, so Mexican standoff. Adriano shoots Laura. Massimo shoots Adriano. Anna misses and then tries to shoot Massimo again. So Nacho shoots Anna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
which comes up in this movie.
It does come up in this movie. So that has been our recap. And then as pertinent information happens, I will let you know throughout the rest of this film.
Nothing happens in this one.
Nope.
Very little happens in this movie.
It is by far the worst. The sex is not sexy most of the time.
No. It looks painful.
I have a theory about the sex.
Tell me.
At first I thought that perhaps the actress playing Laura did not want to be as nude. Because we do not, like in the previous films, she has been full ass nude the whole movie. Like it's just a thing.
Yeah.
This movie, it doesn't happen until about 30 minutes before the end of the movie when she's with Nacho. That's like the only time she's ever fully nude. And at first I thought it was maybe like a choice and that she just didn't want to do it. And that's why they're like way overacting the early sex scenes in this movie. The first act sex scenes are showgirls level bad, and we will talk about when we get there. But then...
That is the right comparison, though. 100%. Yes.
It is the right comparison. She does
100%.
the showgirls lap dance at one point.
There's so much grinding. It looked very painful for your pelvis.
It looked I would throw my back out. But like then with Nacho, she's naked. And so I think the movie was trying to like see it's nice with Nacho, like and make Nacho an option. But then Nacho flip-flops at the end where he was like, I'm going to give you time. Just kidding. I'm not giving you any time. And so like...
Well, nachos are only good the first 10 minutes out of the oven.
That's right.
They don't reheat well. You can't
Yeah.
give them a second chance.
Nacho's only good for the weekend. You know what I'm saying? She got to go back home to Mustafa.
Is nachos an Italian term? I'm really confused.
Nacho is often short for Ignacio. So it could be any number of cultures have Nacho as a abbreviated name. It could also sometimes be an identifier for like a nickname that's not necessarily related to your name, which I'm not sure. I think personally, the person who wrote this is Polish and maybe didn't know what Nacho was short for, because in this movie, it's his middle name and his first name is Marcelo, which is a way hotter name. But it's like Marcelo Nacho Matos, I think is his last name. I wrote it down somewhere. I guess for when he kidnapped her, he didn't want her to know who he was. So that's why he went by Nacho. But like, is his middle name Ignacio, but he has a nickname for his middle name? I don't know. Unclear. Never explained.
Paige, it's insane to me that you think someone wrote this movie.
Yeah.
They wrote a book, remember? It's based on a book because when I was in Kansas
What?
City, I picked up a copy of it and then we... That's right. Todd, you weren't there. I forgot.
Todd didn't go with us to the bookstore.
I have a copy.
I sat and flirted with sorority girls and Paige shopped for erotica.
Yes.
So you were there for the same reason.
Exactly.
I was like, my name is Michael Lasagna Randolph. You can call me Lanya.
Why?
You can call me Mustafa. So
You can call me Fish Sticks.
Fish sticks. We went to the store and they had a copy of 365, which Ripped Bodice, I had checked, hadn't stocked it in a while. I think because they were like, no. So I got a copy and we played a game where I had made people read like sections out of it as like punishment during the game.
Yeah.
And when I tell you that I had to very carefully pick those sections because there's a whole way lot more face slapping in the book than in the film.
You mean like during the sexy times?
Yeah.
Some people be into that, y'all.
Hey, you know what? If that's your thing, good for you. In the book, it
Exactly.
did not seem consensual. And so
Then
that
that's
was
a
my
problem.
concern.
Yeah.
That was my concern. Also, to all of you who DM'd me to see what sexy mafia thing I'm reading.
I got DMs about that. Someone was like, Paige hasn't responded. Will you ask her? I'm like, no. Message request.
I got many, many requests. I am reading Honeycut. It's the sequel to Salt Kiss by Sierra Simone. It is intense. So like, unless you're already an intense smut person, it might be too much. And that's okay. It's okay for everyone to have limits, but it is hardcore BDSM. So your mileage may vary, but there's like assassins in it. And I'm like, you combined shoulders, sex, and assassins and expected me not to love it? That's all I'm saying. Mustafa would get it.
So I don't get it. Like, did they win Spain's Now You Think This Is Fashion? Like, what were they doing in Spain? Like, what the fuck was going on?
First of all, they were in Portugal.
Oh, were they? Shit.
It's connected by land, Paige.
I mean-
It's very close.
I'm sorry, I should have gone a little bit further west.
East. Todd, east.
No, it's west.
West of Portugal is the ocean.
Oh, yeah, no, Mikey's right.
I know, but if I'm in Spain and I want to go to Portugal, I'd have to go west.
Oh, I thought you meant, okay. I thought you meant Portugal. I was like, no.
Anyway, so yeah, they won like Portugal runway or whatever.
I know, right? Yeah.
And so I think it's the equivalent of like a festival. Like the first time we went to Panic Fest, where it's like a whole bunch of fashion stuff going on and you're one of the people like exhibiting, I think.
Okay.
I felt like everyone in the film just became a racist caricature of Italians throughout the film.
Even the Polish characters.
Yeah, even all of them transform. It's like they drank Italian ooze that turned them into Teenage Mutant Ninja Italians.
My favorite is when Olga goes, "Shut up, Mrs. Tortellini." And I was like, wow.
Yes. I was like, what the fuck?
That sounds like you're like from the deep south, have never met a full Italian person,
Yes.
and you're trying to insult them. And that is that character's name.
The kind of people that pronounce it Italian.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get out of here, Mrs. fucking like Tortellini or whatever. Like,
You're not even part of the Stouffer's lasagna family yet, and you're talking like that, or what? I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
guys, oh my God, what if these are the heirs to the pasta wars? And it is like rigatoni versus like ravioli. Like,
See, I was going to go with Boyardee's movies bad.
I'm not going to be good on this episode. It was very hard to pay attention to anything in this film.
Mikey, if you think you haven't already met the threshold for good, you're insane.
I'll just be like, wouldn't that scene be funny if Grimace was fucking her? That's why.
And I was like, rabble, rabble, bro. You know who no one's feeling sorry for, but we all should? The guy who was funding his wife's Eat, Pray, Love tour of Southern Europe
Oh, yeah.
while she bangs other people, while he like slaves away at the family business.
Of cocaine.
Like, no one feels bad for Massimo in this movie?
No one
No.
feels bad for Massimo, and they should.
I know, he's terrible.
Well, here's the thing. These movies are so wild because they start Massimo as a coke dealer who works for the mob, who kidnaps a woman and holds her hostage.
Paige, it's not cocaine. That's raw, uncut flour. They're making the nicest pasta out of
The
that.
nicest.
That is not cocaine.
It's doppio zero.
Yeah.
Anyway, then in the second movie, he's still Massimo, but he's like worried for her safety and she doesn't understand his whole Then in this movie, he seems like he's just a husband who really cares and is worried about her. And I was like, who is this man?
But she's like, I have to go back to my business of murder.
Yeah.
Why is my spaghetti not on the plate when I was murdering all day and working up this? Hey, let's go to the BDSM strip club for a date.
I think Mikey's just recapping my book now.
Did they not go to a strip club like 4 times?
Oh, no, they did.
They're like, you don't like going out with me?
Twice. They went twice. They went together, and then he went once in one of the longest sex scenes in this film, and arguably the most explicit.
It is, for sure, but he's not having sex in it.
No, he's having regrets.
Yes, exactly, Mikey.
Yeah.
I do love the scene where they walk, because I assume Massimo owns this place. So they like walk into this place he owns.
Yeah.
And it's like a strip club or whatever. They go into this private room, and then they start having sex in front of one of his employees. And I'm like, there's no way she's not going to HR tomorrow morning.
They tell her to leave.
No, he tells her to leave.
Yes.
Laura says stay.
Laura says stay, but then Laura gets up. Well, she does kind of like handy him for a bit, but then Laura gets up and is like, leave, and then they're alone. But also, the exterior of that club, like, so outside that room is the same club from the first movie where he shot a guy's hands for touching her.
Yes.
Jesus Christ, I fucking forgot about that. Good God.
Yes. But in my remake, it's a McDonald's play place.
They're in the ball pit.
yeah.
Have any of us had sex in a ball pit?
I guarantee you a lot of people have had sex in ball pits. And I also guarantee you the ball pit is a gay club.
Sound off in the Facebook group and let me know, A, how hard was the cleanup, and B, was it good?
It's wild that you would think the kind of person that would have sex in a ball pit wouldn't all be involved in the cleanup of the ball pit, Paige.
We pay teenagers minimum wage to clean up the sex in the ball pit.
This is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that we're going to get answers from people who were teenagers who worked at a Chuck E. Cheese or something, and had to clean sex out of a ball pit. And then we're going to get information from the people who were like, I just left it there for the teenager. And I need both sides of the story.
I can't wait to hear Silk Sonic's sex in the ball pit. That's all I'm going to say.
The people who have sex in a ball pit are not the people who clean up after themselves
Okay.
in a ball pit.
That's my exact point,
Yeah.
Mikey. Yes.
That Venn diagram is a circle.
But that's what I'm saying. We'll hear from both groups. The people who clean, the people who make it dirty.
I make it dirty. Guys, I had sex in a pre-Civil War shack.
It's true.
I'm definitely in the ball pit camp, although I've not done that.
Well, here's what I'm wondering. If having sex on a plane is the Mile High Club and having sex in a shack is a Chewy's, what's the name for having sex in a ball pit? What do we call it?
I think just like UTI, like it's definitely not good.
The balls are too big to get in there.
Those things are cesspools of snot and spit. Those things are gross just by default.
Says the guy who had sex in a shack.
Yeah.
Listen, and I also just said I'd have sex in a ball pit. I just know they're gross going in.
Oh, we should call the shack the Shake Shack.
The Shake Shack.
Because when the shack is shaking.
I want to do something like Benoit ball pit or something like
The balls are smaller and are meant to be inserted.
The balls don't need to be inside you. They're just meant to be around you. Unless you want them to be inside you, in which case, yes, Benoit ball size is probably a better option, but harder to frolic in because they're heavier.
ball pits. We have to workshop this.
You know what? Growing up, the play place near me was called Discovery Zone.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I feel
Yes,
like
we had a Discovery Zone. Yeah.
okay, all right. I feel like if having sex in a plane is the Mile High Club, I think having sex in a ball pit is the Discovery Zone.
Okay.
That checks out. Yeah.
I like that.
There we go.
Guys, I don't want to be the person to bring this up, but like I think Olga might have a drinking problem.
So much. And I was really sad that we didn't get to see Olga's wedding in this one. I'm excited to see it in the next film.
She's mean as fuck in this movie.
Well, she also has not spoken English.
She's like, Lara, why you got to be such a bitch?
Lara, you whore. Yeah. She has not spoken English for the first two movies much at all. And in this one, they were like, we're all speaking a little bit of English. And she's just like, okay. And her English sounds like a child learning English for the first time.
That is 100% accurate. Yes.
This movie sounds like my racist uncle did the dub, and I'm here for it.
But it's like the actors learning the English
Yeah,
words
it is.
phonetically. Yes.
Massimo, how dare you not to love me? And I'm like, this is the real thing.
What say you for?
And she's like, I speak a little English now in this taxi cab.
Here's the thing. Laura's English has gotten considerably better.
It has,
But
yes.
in getting better, she now has a bizarre British accent where she's just like, I don't know what you are doing in the closet. Like, it's very, very proper. And so it sounds still a little weird, even though the syntax is now correct, which is an improvement over the last ones. But then they make everyone else do it. And boy, is Olga's English the funniest thing in this movie.
Yeah, by far. I also really love her performance at the end of this movie when she is like 100% sure that her friend's about to get shot in the fucking face on the beach when she goes down to see Massimo.
Yeah.
I can't speak Italian, but I'm positive you're being murdered today.
That's more or less what she says.
No, she can't speak it. She just understands all of it. Yeah.
What? I don't believe her.
I don't believe her because of her being like, okay, peak American English. Yeah. That's why I don't believe her. This movie could all just be in Polish or all be in Italian.
It would be so much better.
I like that it jumps around.
There's no reason for the English, and that's what's so funny to me.
I don't know if this is a real film or a Polish propaganda film that's anti-Italian.
Ooh, who's to say?
It's because of World War II, Mikey.
Yeah.
Because they were on opposite sides.
That's why his name is Mussolini.
Yeah. Mussolini. Yeah, that makes sense.
Another famous Italian pasta family.
Yeah.
Or was it fascist? I can't remember.
And never forget General Bowtie and the terrible things and atrocities he did in the war.
And his wagon wheel warriors. Yeah.
And his brown sauce.
Farfalle is the bow ties. It's farfalle.
How dare you bring that fascist pasta up on this podcast page?
Cavatapi.
Y'all don't even talk about the genocide that the dinosaur macaroni pulled in Poland.
I've told you guys that I try to buy only mac and cheese shapes from Kraft because I think it's a smaller pasta to cheese ratio, which makes it cheesier.
Yeah, and that is a rookie move. We all got to learn that when you're growing up. That's part of adulthood.
That's right.
Part of adulthood is realizing pasta shaped like dinosaurs is the optimum pasta.
Yeah, it's the best shape.
It ain't loose, long noodles, that's for sure.
Yeah, hard to eat.
I do think spaghetti is the worst way to deliver pasta.
I don't like spaghetti.
I think it's trash. If you don't have your pasta shoved with cheese, it's not for me's.
And like spaghetti never has cheese in it. Yeah, it's just like a vegan's pasta or something.
First of all, there are eggs in the noodles, so it is not vegan. Secondly, you can always add cheese to any pasta.
Paige.
I do. That's why I know.
Paige, General Bowtie would have your head for this.
Yes.
Look, Il Capitano Farfalle would back me up on it. Thank you.
I do like an alternate reading of history where Italy gets divided in some sort of like civil pasta-based war where it's like the pastas that are shoved with cheese are against, I don't know, the other gross pastas that are out there. And it's just like some battle amongst pasta families.
Yeah, and for all you at home that think we're racist against Italians because of the war, we also hate the Germans, but there's just not been a lot of movies that have broken through to the mainstream from German cinema that we've been able to review here.
They're just good. Like that's
Eat a dick, Poland!
yeah, I was like, this is not an Italian movie, it's a Polish movie set in Italy.
That's right. The whole joke is that this is about racist Poland people. Poland did this to you, not us.
Right.
Yeah, but I love that when they go to Poland in this movie, it's like midsummer Poland. Like it's lush and green and the most beautiful place you've ever seen.
She's like, Laura, how dare you ride a motorcycle?
Polluting our environment.
Paige, you mean where she gets the worst advice from her mother?
So we'll talk about it when we get there because I transcribed most of it and I think it's almost good advice that is badly stated, if that makes sense.
I think if you take the words for what they are, it is telling your daughter to be a full-on sociopath.
Well, she is Polish.
She's Polish.
Oh my God.
When she tries to wrap it up at the end, what she basically says is you can't be in a relationship for someone else. You have to also love that relationship, so you'll fight for it. But that's not what she said at the beginning of the sentence, and that's the problem.
That's a very kind reimagining of what the line actually is.
No, I wrote it down, Todd.
She literally says you have to be selfish in the relationship.
Again,
because
Todd.
if you make the relationship about you, you'll love it and fight for it.
Yes.
Because it's all about you.
Yes.
It's insane. That is insane advice.
Todd, that's the first part of the paragraph. She then goes on to say, you cannot only be in a relationship for someone else. It will make you unhappy and them unhappy, which is the only good advice that she gives in this section.
She went too
But
far.
it is off-put by the beginning where she was just like, be a selfish bitch, treat yourself.
Yeah, I mean, that tag on what I said is more or less like that's why you have to make it all about you. Because then you will just destroy the relationship and make him unhappy. Like it's a crazy advice.
I'm still having some questions about why we should care about Europeans' love lives and day-to-day activities.
Didn't we fight a war so that we didn't have to give shit about these people, Paige?
We have to give a shit because it's my week and I say so.
Sorry, but we're recording this on July 3rd, so it's like we're about to celebrate.
Yeah, it's 4th of July. America's collapsing. Europe sucks. Like
Europe does not suck, Mikey. You've never been.
Europe kicks ass.
You know who did go, Paige? My grandfather.
So I shouldn't have to go.
yeah.
Also, go to Europe. It's awesome.
Go to Europe. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
It is great.
Y'all owe us to when we become fascists to get over here and help us.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean,
listen, we're about to call in some markers all of Europe, all right? We're going to need some help in like probably 12 years. I'm not really celebrating tomorrow because like it's the celebration of us not living under a king, and like the Supreme Court just said that the president more or less is one. So like what the fuck are we even doing?
But now I have decided that I want to become president.
Mikey, I would vote for you. In a heartbeat, I would vote for you.
I would be a benevolent king.
oh no.
I don't for a second think you'd be a benevolent king.
No.
We'll force all gays to marry.
You! Are you gay? Yes, you! Find someone you love and marry that person.
I don't mind that you're gay. You just can't live in sin. Just like crazy. That's bonkers, Mikey.
Mikey would go around being like, because he would have to like usurp the religious rights. So he would be like, guys, I've read all the poems. They're my favorite poems.
If memory serves, Josh parted the Red Sea.
Have you guys read Job 316?
Yeah, I'm going to increase our jobs.
316.
He had a real rough time with his.
My God. Should we just go through this incredibly dumb movie
Yes.
scene by scene?
Yes.
What scenes? It literally...
I took fucking notes, okay?
Should we just go through this Enrique Iglesias music video?
Oh my God.
Is this Ibiza?
No, because it's Portugal.
Honestly, I think it might be.
No, it's Portugal.
I've seen a lot of music videos that are set in Ibiza.
Yeah, Ibiza.
But, oh God. Anyway, also remember that almost all of the music in this is performed by
Sung by Massimo.
Massimo, which, by the way, if you're watching this at home, watch it with subtitles on for extra hilarious lyrical treats that I have written down in my notes.
Paige, the first song lyric at all in the movie is "I'm so fucking wasted," and I was like,
Yeah.
I wish. This is trash.
Like the time we're spending watching this movie.
I know, Paige. It's so bad.
Anyway, let's get into the movie. We open on a series of montages to make it look like Laura is dead, but in fact, it is just Massimo's brother Adriano, and it is clearly a very old actual cemetery where they have just propped up a fake-looking marble panel with Adriano's name and picture on it to make it look like it's a grave.
It's perfect, honestly.
It is the
notes. Sort of low effort I've come to expect from this franchise.
This scene is a cock tease. They're like, we're going to war. And there is
no war.
No war.
Yeah.
Well, much like we have not gotten to these Twilight movies yet, but in the fourth Twilight, there's kind of a similar cock tease.
Is her name Bella?
If memory serves, no. It's Dakota Fanning's character with her like pain and like reading minds and shit. Anyway.
What?
They're not supposed to cross each other's territories or it's going to be war. And they walk away from the like fake photo background that is Adriano's grave.
Hang on. I'm so sorry. Massimo in this scene is mad at his brother's grave.
Yeah.
That his brother died
right.
in the exchange that happened at the end of the second movie. And he's mad at this person who did not shoot his brother because the person who shot his brother is himself. Why is he mad at this guy?
Why are they at the funeral? That's an even better question.
I was so confused.
Look, guys, it's not the funeral. This is a couple days later where he wanted to talk to the Manicotti family who hired the wife and the twin to seduce his girlfriend and then set him against him.
Sure.
You know John Gotti from the family Manicotti?
John Gotti Manicotti.
Yeah.
I would be murdered immediately with the Italian mafia because I'd be like, let's go get the raviolis or whatever.
Mikey, this is why you could not have been an undercover cop in New York in the 70s.
No, not at all.
Mayor Giuliani would not have allowed it.
Me, I would have passed. No one would have known. Flitted through the shadows like a ghost.
Paige, you are Italian. It wouldn't be undercover. You would just be Italian.
It'd just be under a thin layer of pasta surrounded by ricotta.
They got their cigars, their Tommy guns, they're playing cards. I walk in, I like have a pizza box, I uncover it, and it's just like pineapple and pepperoni. They're like,
oh, get the fuck out.
I like how in this movie, Mikey is setting the scene for it starts a lot like a porn. Mikey shows up with a pizza. You know what I'm saying?
Somebody order a pizza with extra fruit.
Look, I don't know what your life has been like, but eating a pizza alone has not been the pornography sexy times.
Well, you were showing up undercover to a room full of Italian men with a pizza. The premise, I think, is clear.
Yeah, because I'd be like, don't y'all love pizza? You're Italian.
And they're like, only the kind that my brother makes with water that we source from Italy.
I do love that Mikey, while trying to pretend to be an undercover Italian, says, don't you want a slice of pizza? Don't y'all love that?
Y'all are Italian.
Boy, are y'all hairy. Boy, aren't all of y'all hairy?
You're the worst undercover agent I've ever seen.
They are coming right for me. Boom, boom, boom.
Anyway, they're at Adriano's grave, and he literally called them there to be like, get the fuck out, which I think is hilarious, to call a meeting to be like,
Get off my island. Is he on? Are they on Sicily? Is it Sicily's his
they're
island?
on Sicily. Sicily's his island.
That's the soccer ball of Italy.
It is. It's like a triangular
Yes.
ball. But yeah.
Yeah.
I have to point this out because I wrote it down because it made me so fucking mad. Massimo
Okay.
said, this is Sicily. This is my home turf.
Yeah.
You go back to your island or I'll make it
Yes.
a graveyard.
Yes.
Sicily's the island. He just claimed Sicily. Sicily's the island, right?
There's multiple islands. They're just smaller.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a rival crime family from an island that's not Sicily?
Yeah.
I thought they were all Italian.
So it's all southern Italy.
What the fuck? I don't know what's happening at all in this movie. I have no idea who that guy is.
Who cares? They never talk about the mafia the rest of the film. I was so
That's
true.
That's true.
They tease a war that we never get.
He's like, it sure will be bloody. And he's like, time to go to the strip club.
There are other islands. None of them are as big as Sicily. Sicily's definitely the biggest one.
Sicily's huge, yeah.
Sicily's huge. But we also knew that previously because that's where she spent most of the last movie was on his island. The other island, not Sicily.
Oh, is that Nacho's dad?
Yes, that's Nacho's dad. That's why Nacho is there.
Is he the one who orchestrated someone from the International Space Station to shoot Massimo's dad at the beginning of the first movie?
Right.
Because he got shot from space.
Yes.
We remember it. Never forget.
Never forget. Anyway, so they leave. And Massimo gets a call and he's like, all right, I'm coming. And he comes back and it's Laura and she's in bed and he's like, I've missed you so much. And they start to kind of hook up and then we see her scar from where she got shot. And they're about to get busy and he's like, the doctor says it's too soon, which is very out of character for Massimo.
Yeah, he doesn't believe in medicine.
Well, yeah, Massimo wouldn't he didn't care when she was like, no, I don't know you and I have consent issues with this.
Paige, I'm just going to say it's lucky that wound had closed because he might have just gone in after it. Like, I don't know. He's that kind of guy.
I mean, that's a terrible thing to think about, but that's what I mean by it being out of character. You're right. Yeah.
I did think it was funny that she was like, but like, I want to smash, so let's do this.
Yeah, she's like, I don't care what he says, so let's do this.
And also, this is going to sound terrible. She was just shot, right? Like, I would imagine that like once it's healed up and it's just a scar, you could totally bone, right?
She didn't get shot in the vagina.
Jesus Christ.
Mikey, she didn't get shot in the P word.
I think it depends on how healed she is, because she likely has internal and external stitches, and if she were to tear either of those, that'd be a
I
problem.
thought you said her and Nacho didn't have sex.
Ooh. But she's got a scar, which for me would imply that like it's scarred, so her stitches are out. It's probably
Right.
fine.
Yeah.
Okay, look, I had knee surgery. They weren't like, don't fuck tomorrow.
Did you?
Did they need to, Mikey?
No, I can't fuck tomorrow without a surgery. I mean, what?
I like that you were like, they didn't tell me not to. They knew I was alone. They were like, you didn't have anyone to drive you home from this surgery. We guessed. We didn't need to give you the pamphlet.
They're like, specifically you, don't hire a sex worker in the next 48 hours. I'm like, that seems oddly specific for a knee surgery.
Oh, God. But she goes and has breakfast with Olga. And Olga's like, we need to get your hair done. And for the first time ever in the entire 365 series, we don't get the makeover montage at all.
Yeah, it's terrible or whatever.
But she does look more Italian each scene.
She does progressively look more Italian.
Her pigment gets darker and so does her hair. And then her clothes-ish?
Yeah, she does at a certain point go to wearing almost all black in this movie until she goes back to Nacho and then it's white. Anyway, so she gets her hair fixed. She comes back. And she's like, looks amazing in that dress and interrupts Massimo's meeting and is like, I didn't want to disturb you, but see me when you're done. And he's like, excuse me, like, this meeting is adjourned.
he literally is more or less like, go ahead and complete the meeting. I'm going to complete in my wife.
Literally one room over.
Yeah.
They could hear the whole thing.
It's fine. It's the mob. We don't have like quarterly check-ins or whatever.
No one's taking the minutes. My favorite, though, this is the first, well, I guess second, hilarious song lyric where it just is like, no longer happy afters is the song lyric.
That's actually the title of my autobiography.
No longer happy afters. because you won't be when you're done reading it. But they bang on the countertop, and it's overacting even for this franchise.
It's showgirls. It is like showgirls level sex. It's terrible.
I know his name is Massimo, but I wanted Massa less.
Yeah, same. It was terrible, man. Everyone's fully clothed the whole time. Her legs are flopping like their wings
Flopping
trying to take
around.
off.
No, I get it. This is how I dry humped at 13. So I get it. I mean, I saw it.
He's going for speed.
It's like you're watching a sexual harassment HR training video, and they're like going to ask you at what point they crossed the line. Like, that's how terrible the acting is in it.
They're both grinding on each other fully clothed so hard. Like, there's definitely like chafes.
Yeah, they're friction burns.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
It was like the club, like the underage teenage club. That's what it seemed like before the internet. Because it's like,
yeah.
they didn't know what you're supposed to do or whatever.
Todd, it's funny that you bring up sexual harassment.
I know.
Because you happen to know that I had to sit through hours of sexual harassment training yesterday at home while also watching this movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
One screen this, the other screen, what should we have done in this situation?
Did Dan call Janice sugar tits? Was that appropriate?
Did Mustafo bang his wife on his brother Alfredo's grave?
That reminds me of my favorite Italian dish, fried squid pro quo.
You son of a bitch. So funny. Oh my God. That's the calasari.
Oh, if anyone has had to take sexual harassment training, that is a hilarious joke.
And I have, for undisclosed reasons that we definitely didn't settle out of court for.
No, California has to do it yearly anyway. So
No,
like
we do too.
it was just my time.
Yeah, I think everyone does. I think everyone with like a corporate ass job has to take those.
We have to do a regular one and then one for like supervisors.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I had to take the supervisor one, which is half an hour longer.
Yeah. Ugh. We get it. Don't try to fuck anyone at work.
It's pretty much like don't try and fuck your coworkers. And the reason the other one is 30 minutes longer is because that one is like don't try to fuck your employees.
Yeah.
Scene.
Yeah. Anyway, so they finish up, and then she goes out with Olga without telling Massimo, and they go to the same club where he shot that guy's hands in the first movie.
Because she's willing to roll the dice on every guy in that club's hands.
None of them need those hands. And she doesn't dance with any other guy. She's just dancing with Olga. But she does get a phone call from Nacho.
It's okay. That guy plays Jesus at the Easter reenactment now.
Well, he does now, Mikey.
He's got this.
His hands are perfect for grabbing pasta out of hot pots because they're slotted. You can just drain it as you go.
He didn't get nailed the way he thought.
Yeah. Anyway, Nacho calls and he's like, I can't forget you. And she's like, try harder, click. So they go to the club, they dance in. Domenico shows up.
I thought this was crazy. Shows up and like starts full ass on making out with Olga like it's Chewy's.
Yes.
And like
Yeah.
Laura just like leaves. She's like, oh, they're about to fuck upstairs. I'm leaving.
It is like a half sex club though, so it is weird that she
That's
felt
fair.
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't know that she felt uncomfortable as much as she just wanted to give them their privacy, but the song that's
the public
playing
restaurant
in the
slash
public
bar.
restaurant upstairs, well, they're in like a VIP area or whatever upstairs, but
VIPP.
VIPs.
Of course they are. Because this whole movie is like your richest douche's friend's Instagram reel flexes on his European vacation. That's like how this whole movie feels.
It is, but then hilariously, the song playing in the club is just over and over again saying, come and taste my flavor.
Yes, Paige, it literally is 4 lyrics in a round set to like electro swing. Like it's insanity.
That's actually the ice cream man who was driving by outside.
I've got Spider-Mans and Ninja Turtles and SpongeBob with the gumball eyes.
Oh, so you know all the lyrics, Paige?
Yeah. Come and taste my flavor. Sweet up, flavor. So Domenico shows up. Massimo also shows up. And this is where Massimo pulls her into a private room. She does think that she sees Nachos at the bar, but he's not there. They only have mozzarella sticks.
Oh!
You bitch. You wrote that
and
joke. I
6
know you did.
wings.
Because you looked over at it and you laughed before you delivered. I know you. That's so funny. Holy shit. That's so
Stupid.
funny. I love it.
Sorry, the kitchen closed 20 minutes ago.
They go into a room, and there is a stripper, a dancer there. And originally Massimo tells her to leave so he and Laura can have the room. And Laura goes, no, stay. And while he watches the dancer, she gives him an over the pants handy.
Gets jealous. So she gets up and like gets right in the stripper's face like she's going to kiss her and then goes, leave. I was like, you told her to stay.
Well, because she wanted him to stay just to get him excited. And then she's going to finish it off because this is where she goes full showgirls because she way overacts a blowjob. But then she gets in his lap and does the full like lean back that Showgirls does.
Yeah.
If you are familiar.
They're really boring, not sexy sex scenes.
Well, they're not boring if you're laughing at them. But I would say that the people who made Showgirls maybe had not. It's weird to think that maybe they hadn't seen lap dances before, but I've never seen ones that look like in that movie. And this looks like that movie, which makes it even weirder.
Do you get a lot of lap dances there, Paige?
I don't get any, but I have seen them happen.
Mikey, she said, I don't get any, but I've seen them happen, which means she's the performer and there's a mirror.
She's gave some. Yeah. You don't have to perform. You can give a private gift to your friends and loved ones.
Private dancer. Dancer for money.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really like strip clubs. They're not for me. Like
I've gotten lap dances outside of strip clubs, Todd, because I've got game.
So have I, Mikey.
And a couch.
I put on our favorite lap dance song, Come and Show Me Your Flavors, and
and man, did you fuck the shit out of Fudgy the Whale.
Grillis did a great job, full of lumps.
I don't consider those like private sexy times lap dances because they were just preludes to sexy times. You know, they were like,
Did they happen on your lap?
I mean, yeah, that's where it started.
Yeah, it's a lap
Then,
dance.
yeah, it's a lap dance.
Also, in the strip club, if you pay $1,000, you can also have sexy times after one.
Yeah, depending on the strip club.
Man, nothing sounds less fun than that. That sounds scary to me.
I mean, yeah, depending on the dancer and the club and a whole lot of stuff, there is usually a price.
There's always a price, Paige.
Anyway, they finish having sex. She gets up and he's drinking alone next to, I don't know if you guys remember the sex scene from the last movie where they had sex next to the fire, but they're on an ottoman that is not sturdy enough for the both of them. And they're having to like brace themselves and bounce. And it's a very funny, bad sex scene.
I don't remember that sex scene.
I don't catalog the 365 franchise sex scenes.
I didn't remember that an identical twin murdered his wife and girlfriend.
I definitely didn't remember that either, though. So what the fuck's wrong with me?
Yeah.
Anyway, in the previous one, they had like a poof near the fireplace and they have sex on it, but it is clearly not an optimal sex furniture object.
I can't imagine anything called a poof could be sturdy enough for sex, although I'm not sure.
It was like a small bean bag. Anyway.
Are we talking about Massimo's bean?
What?
Never mind.
No, but I imagine it was not comfortable on his bean bags given the trajectory, but
I'm no vegan. I'm not going to have sex on a beanbag.
I only fuck on me.
Yeah.
Somebody give me Lady Gaga's dress.
We ain't getting that of Nom.
Wait, what? It's like 1970? Like,
why is a beanbag vegan just because of beans?
yes, Paige, that's the only part of Mikey's joke that made sense to me. Because it was the truth.
The only people who own beanbags are children and people who don't vote and eat plants.
That feels accurate. Like, people too disenfranchised by society to vote own beanbags.
No, I think there is also a collection of, let's say, non-binary polycules that definitely have beanbags for extracurriculars that are definitely voting.
Beanbags are a thing that people who live in vans now could have when they could afford cheap houses when they existed.
That's fair.
Good night.
That just makes me sad, though. Anyway, in this movie, they've replaced that tiny poof with like a small, sturdy ottoman, and I thought it was very funny that they clearly removed the offending piece of furniture for a less vegan option. I'm sure it's covered in leather. Anyway.
Well, and now more stuff.
Because Massimo's drinking and he's like, what happened on the island? Did you fuck Nacho? And she's just like, it's probably not the best time to talk about it.
They go from literally having sex to fighting immediately.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. They're obviously toxic. He did kidnap her, but
every day for a year, Paige. Yes, he did. Yeah.
Ooh.
no, it's not, because the year's not over until the end of this movie. They've only known each other for like 6 months at this point.
I feel so lied to by the title of every one of these fucking movies.
Well, no, because, okay, 365 days. That's the bargain he makes with her. 365 this day, that's when they get married and they like choose each other and they're actually married. Then the next 365 days refers to what happens after this movie, because she kind of like sets a new gauntlet at the end of this movie.
Holy shit. It's actually genius and I'm just dumb.
Yep.
Like 100%. I get it now. I like the way you explained it. Turn the light on. I'm like here for it.
It makes sense now.
Best bit of writing, titles.
Thanks.
Warmer, sunnier days are calling. Fuel up for them with Factor's no prep, no mess meals. Meet your wellness goals in time for summer thanks to the menu of chef-crafted meals with options like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, and Keto. Factor's fresh, never frozen meals are dietitian approved and ready to eat in just 2 minutes. So no matter how busy you are, you'll always have time to enjoy nutritious, great tasting meals. And with 35 different meals and more than 60 add-ons to choose from every week, you'll always have new flavors to explore. So make your day delicious from breakfast to dessert. Stay fueled with easy, nutritious options. All you have to do to enjoy all of this is head to factormeals.com/romancingthepod50 and use code romancingthepod50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month. That's like 70% off over those 2 months, right? So that's code romancingthepod50 at factormeals.com/romancingthepod50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month while your subscription is active. Don't miss out.
This podcast is brought to you by eHarmony, the dating app to find someone you can be yourself with. Why doesn't eHarmony allow copy and paste in first messages? Because you are unique, and your conversations should reflect that. eHarmony wants you to find someone who will get you. How are you going to know who gets you if people send you the same generic conversation starters they message everyone else? Conversations that actually help you get to know each other. Imagine that. Get who gets you on eHarmony. Sign up today.
Anyway, here's the tough part. They are toxic, and this is not the right time to have this argument. It's never a good time to argue drunk, that's for sure. But I do think that some of the things that come up in this argument are things that they should talk out, like the fact that she didn't feel safe telling him about the baby. Like, that's a thing they're going to need to discuss if they're going to continue to have a relationship, I believe.
Oh, you mean at the end of this movie when she comes back and they don't answer the question the movie's been asking the whole fucking movie?
They don't.
Exactly, Mikey. That's how I felt.
He, at least in that moment, is like, I am sorry that I created a scenario in which you did not feel like you could come to me with this. But it takes a whole movie and threats of murdering her to get there. So, like, you know.
Therapy's a process. Rude. Give him space, Paige.
Oh, Jesus.
He's funding her whole Eat, Pray, Love tour of lower Europe.
Italian couples therapy is just cutting meatballs in half.
No, it's just eating spaghettis until you meet in the middle.
Lady in the Tramp style.
I wish there was a lady or a tramp in this film.
I mean, maybe that's why Jake and I have stayed together, is because instead of going to Olive Garden with our couples therapist, we went to Outback Steakhouse. We did. It was good.
Why would you not go with your marriage counselor to the place where when you're there, you are family?
Family?
That's like resolving all of your issues in therapy.
I think it's pretty uncouth to share your bloomin' onion.
Yeah, Paige.
I'm trying. You don't want to deflower the bloomin' onion in front
before
of a
the
third.
wedding.
Yeah.
Anyway, he breaks the glass in anger, and she kind of has a flashback to when she accidentally broke a glass at Nacho's house, and he cleaned it up and carried her to safety. And she falls asleep thinking about it. And what she doesn't realize...
Can I point out that this is the time she's like reminiscing about the sexiest time she was with Nacho, because he like sexily carries her over and puts her on the thing. And of course he also says, stay here, I've got to go clean that.
Yep.
It's the sexiest thing he ever said to her in her mind.
Here's what I thought about during this scene is that if I had to carry someone that distance, I would also sweat on them outside. And like, that's not as sexy.
Some people are into it.
It depends on how that sweat got on me. I'm not mad at a little bit of sweat if we've been working it out together. You know what I'm saying?
I'd be like, you're not heavy at all. 3 drops onto your face.
It's nothing. I got you. I bench like 3 times this.
I'm a sweaty dude. Yes, she is tiny, but I would sweat still. I have an efficient body.
I don't for a second doubt that if you were in lower Europe, you'd be hot and sweaty, like especially during the summer. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
Carrying around these Italians, just like in World War II.
God damn it, Mikey.
Technically, you'd be carrying around a Polish lady, just like in World War II,
Same.
I guess.
Like in World War II.
Jesus.
You stay here. We'll go clean this up again.
Jesus. But not untrue.
Anyway, while Laura's asleep, Massimo does clean it up, and then carry her to bed and tuck her in. But because she's asleep, she doesn't realize it. But I think this is the movie's way of trying to be like, he does care about her. It's just a tough time. But he also kidnapped
Yeah, the movie
less
is
than a
dumb.
year
And-
ago.
Yeah. Speaking of wars, everybody's talking about Ukraine, but what about my crane?
Do you have a crane?
That's what I want.
Whooping or otherwise?
Did you say pooping?
No, I said whooping.
A whooping
Whooping crane or otherwise?
I'm pretty sure she said pooping too, Mikey.
Well, fine. Do you have a pooping crane?
I have a pooping crane where I... There's only one obvious use for a pooping crane, and I don't like to talk about it.
to take things off the floor and lift them to the toilet, but you have to get it with like a claw machine. And you're like, oh, damn it, I'm out of quarters.
Are you looking to gamify cleaning up after your dog? Get the...
Get the eye crane. All proceeds go to Ukraine.
Why is it an eye crane? It has nothing to do
Got
with
an
the
app,
poop.
Todd. It's got an app.
Got an app. And that app, mozzarella sticks.
Mozzarella sticks.
You guys are terrible at branding. We got to brand it back to pooping crane.
It's 5 wings. They're charging you $12.99. I hate ordering wings at a non-wing place.
Oh, fair. Anyway, so she fantasizes about Nacho going down on her, but oopsie daisies, it's actually Massimo going down on her, and the Foley is so upsetting.
Guys, when he comes up out of her legs and it's Massimo and he says, "You're so wet," or whatever, and then she realizes that it's her husband and not the man she's fantasizing about, that's when he goes back down on her and notices a shift in her vagina.
Your
that
vagina's lying to me.
lets him know that she was thinking about somebody else.
I taste the dishonesty.
Mikey, that was my question. How did he know?
I think it must have been her facial expression when he said that to her. And she kind of like snapped out of it.
I think her whispering eye like just little whispered it out.
Her whispering, I was whispering secrets.
It was whispering Nacho.
As she learned in this moment, 2 in the hand is a lot better than one in the bush.
No, we learned that in a different scene where
Oh, yeah.
people who are going to write...
Don't spoil it. We got to talk to it. We got to talk about it when we get
But
there.
hang on. Where people who write this podcast thruple fan fiction have definitely written that scene.
Oh, no. I don't want to be involved in
I
that
don't
at
want
all.
that.
I don't want it either.
If you wrote that, that's why I quit.
Fair. Honestly, that's the right response.
Oh, no. Anyway, I don't... No, you know what? We're not going to get into it. It's just going to
But
devolve.
what if Todd was played by Rizzo the Rat?
What? No, that's not what I was thinking. I was going to discuss the merits of saying you're so wet, but we should just move past it and not talk about it at all.
So there's also like, as he's saying that, or it's actually as he's accusing her of like having the shift or whatever.
Yes.
Spit comes out of his mouth.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like,
Is it spit?
oh, Paige.
Is it
I don't,
spit?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. So like, it's a wild scene.
It's wild.
But imagine knowing your wife so well that you know she's not into it just by talking to her vagina.
Where have you been? Take off your pants.
Can I smell your dick? Why you coming? Like, this exists on the other side. I'm just saying.
But he's literally like, I think you're hiding something, and I couldn't find it with my tongue.
I think you're fine. I think you're hiding something. Time for a cavity search.
Well, no, he just did the cavity search page.
He only searched one of the cavities.
Oh, hello.
I think you guys don't know that Italians can really get a lot of information when they taste the pink sauce.
Oh, my God.
Good night.
Mikey, no, that's my favorite kind of sauce. You're ruining it for me.
You're welcome.
No.
What is pink sauce?
It's usually a combination of Alfredo and red sauce.
Oh, shit, that sounds amazing. Yeah.
It's delicious. Or alternately vodka sauce, which is kind of more orangey. Sometimes people have that instead of pink.
That's Olga, man. She is definitely on the vodka sauce.
But I couldn't make a lying or vagina joke out of any other sauces. I was gonna go for like a bolognese, but I couldn't make it work.
I think he just knows her so well because they're married Nara.
Oh, God. Oh, my God. Okay. Yeah.
I just hope it doesn't smell like al vongole. Seafood. Clams, to be specific.
Are you Googling pink sauce?
No.
Don't. I'm pretty sure that'd be really upsetting.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a Rule 34 about pink sauce.
Pink sauce is fucking awesome.
It is delicious. I fucking love pink sauce. Ravioli and pink sauce is my favorite. Anyway, Massimo storms off, but they go to breakfast. And then he stops sleeping with her. He does go to a much smaller shower than we're used to seeing in this franchise and jerk off and then watch her sleep.
You know, like a real fucking creep.
Like a real creepo.
That's love. Come on, guys.
But this is like the there's trouble at home montage
Yeah.
of the movie. And it ends with him body checking his wife as they walk in front of their house in opposite directions.
Yeah, without a lawn robot named George. That's what we're missing from the last movie for sure. But at this point, she's like, fine, well, I guess I'll go to work today because I totally forgot that he had bought her a fashion company.
A successful fashion company.
Yeah, so she goes to the fashion company and she's designing even though she has no experience. And she brings Olga, who just stands around.
Olga might be like one of her models, though, because she's like 6 feet tall.
She's 6 feet tall and is just like, hello, it is Olga speaking English.
I sort of love Olga's energy this whole time because she is, I think, the only funny character
I
in the
love
movie.
Olga.
Yeah, she's sort of great.
I don't know if she's supposed to be because she's like, what up, slut? How your gunshot?
Yeah, I think she is supposed to be funny. I love Olga.
She always seems like she's like an undercover Russian agent, though. Like, that's the way she's speaking English.
Yeah.
Like, if Mikey was Russian and trying to, like, blend in an NRA convention, that's what it would sound like.
I love that. I also want to see Below Deck 365 where like the Below Deck crew has to serve Massimo and Laura
Yes.
and Olga and Nacho.
And they're trying to figure out the fucking situation. Like, what's going on? Is she with Nacho and Massimo? Or is Nacho and Massimo together and she's like their third? Like, what's going on?
Guys, I've been watching a lot of Below Deck and
Mikey, you're right to do so. It's a wild show.
as soon as politics started blowing up, I was like, I knew I saved 20 seasons of a show that makes me zen out for some reason.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, they don't want onions in their cooking. This is going to be big trouble for everyone.
Yeah, it's going to be big
They
trouble.
forgot the stakes and they have to go back for them.
Thank God this is the biggest problem that I'm going to deal with today.
Oh my God, they left the propane on the boat. Ba ba bum. Like, it's like, what are we doing, guys?
Thank God.
Lowest stakes ever.
That's what I like. That's what I like now.
Which I guess is just rare.
It's like CNN will pop up my phone. It's like, oh, this just in, 90 people have just murdered 190 more people. And you're like, oh, okay, Below Deck.
Yeah.
The sun falls from sky.
Old men yell at cloud on CNN.
Oh, they want a 7-course meal where each course is a color. I need to concentrate on this.
What are we gonna do
Holy
for
shit.
blue?
Cancel my plans.
Is water blue? Anyway, what if we just made them drink straight hypnotic?
Okay, but for real, the chef added onions to the second meal just to piss them off and almost cost them the tip.
Oh no.
They were in Croatia.
Mikey, you watched Party Down, right? Because I feel like Party Down is just this, but not on a boat and with funny people.
Yeah, what you're pitching is a much better version.
There's only 2 seasons of that page. There's 90 seasons.
There's 3 seasons.
Well, there's 30 seasons of Below Deck, so you can go through all of them.
I'm not gonna. I'd rather watch Adam Scott go through it. Anyway, so I do love that their fashion atelier is just mannequins that have tulle pinned to them.
They're like, these shirts have strobe lights.
That'd be awesome. Blind people when you walk in the room. Be like, turn off the headlights. And you're like, no can do.
People say that to me because I always have hard nipples.
Because they've seen some shit.
They're always on alert. They've got PTSD.
Anyway, we cut to Massimo, who's at a BDSM strip club. And my favorite thing about this is that one of the performers, sex workers, has a harness on her face, but it's very clearly just harness underwear that she wore over her face. And I could not stop looking at it or laughing at it.
I mean, this whole scene is pretty insane because it is like a BDSM sex club or whatever, and there is sex actively happening.
Right.
And Massimo is like doing that Gandhi thing where he's putting himself around a lot of like people he's attracted to prove to himself that he's not going to cheat on his wife.
Yeah, and he doesn't.
Because he doesn't actually kiss her. But like, he's in a room where people are actively having sex. I feel like a lot of partners might be uncomfortable with that and refer to that as cheating. Although I do think that they would have to have pre-stated that, but whatever. It's weird.
I feel like if you're not actively participating in the sex act, I don't count it against you.
Do they have a buffet?
That's a good question.
They do, but it's only got pink sauce on it.
And mozzarella sticks. Have you ever dipped mozzarella sticks in pink sauce?
I actually
Fucking
think that would
delicious.
be delicious. I would love to stick my mozzarella inside of some pink sauce. You know what I'm saying?
Fucking delicious. So good, so good, so good.
Nicoletto's here. They've got good pink sauce.
I haven't met her. What's her name?
Nicoletto's.
Did you guys just start dating or?
I don't know, but last time our waiter was Mustafa and he was great. I'm good at remembering names.
You sure are.
You know what I haven't made a joke about ever podcasting that I really want to?
What?
Somali pirates. And so
What?
like I've got to work them in at some point.
That'll be easy in this episode.
They don't go on a boat.
I know. This is going to be hard. I need you to invite me back on a boat film.
All right, I'll log this away. Okay. We did 2 Sydney Sweeney movies without you, and they were definitely on boats during that one.
God dang it. I love that film. And I told Todd to tell you about the helicopters.
I did.
There's 2
I did.
helicopter scenes, Paige.
I know. I understand the helicopters. I get the helicopters.
I brought the helicopters up so much, and Paige was like, whatever, man. I don't care. I don't give a shit about no helicopters.
I was like, they jump out of so many helicopters for no reason. How can you not like a movie like that?
That movie had a few different helicopters. It had like
It
a
did.
news helicopter. It had like a
a port rescue.
like a sea rescue helicopter. It had helicopter parents.
Yeah.
They were all over the place, man. It was awesome.
but none of them were on fire, so fuck
Okay,
it.
here's my Somali pirate joke if Massimo is on a boat.
Okay.
I'm so glad this is where we've gotten.
I'm the El Capitan now.
First of all, in Italian, it would be Il Capitan.
They're seasick, Paige?
No, but it's not El, it's Il Capitano, probably.
I don't speak fascist.
I've never had eel. I mean, I have in sushi, but not in Italian.
I've had it in sushi, but not in Italian. Is the most unhinged sentence. I'm actively mad. I heard it. I don't even know where to begin with it. Like my brain is shutting down on me right now.
It sounds like it would be said in this movie,
Oh,
like in the
100%.
mistranslation.
Yes.
Like that's one of Olga's lines later.
I wish I was a side character in this movie. You know who didn't go through sexual harassment training?
Massimo.
Olga?
Her fashion studio people.
Yeah, because we're about to get to that.
Yes.
She walks in on them
Yes.
fucking on the design table.
And she's like, I didn't think you were coming in early today at 9 a.m. I was so livid.
It was so, it's like, and she just kind of watches for a second until they notice that she's there. And then Olga runs in and is like, we got into Project Portugal. Like, yeah.
We got on So You Think You Can Fashion Weekly or whatever. It's
Yeah.
so crazy. It doesn't fucking matter. Like,
They got on the show below neckties.
Lagos Fashion Fair is what it is.
But really, on this scene, that dude that was fucking that chick doesn't break eye contact with Laura. Like, he's so mad. He's like, I'm motioning, buttoning my shirt for you at home.
These are cerulean balls.
yeah, so they're off to Portugal's Fashion Favale.
Yeah, Farfalle Fashion Weekend.
Which is just strobe lights, it looked like.
Oh, it's an industrial dance club that has a fashion show in the middle of it.
It's probably the club that Massimo shot the dude's hands at, redressed as a
Yeah,
Portia
just a different
Dees.
angle.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I figured out what this movie is. This is a film that would get made in the Matrix. Like if they produced the
Yes.
film in the Matrix,
Yes.
it would be this film.
Because they
Yes.
don't know what actually humans like to watch or do. And it's like their best guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, just BDSM and like strobe lights everywhere.
Come
Yeah.
and taste my flavor. Won't you come and taste my flavor? We have all these ice pops. You're gonna love these ice creams.
I taste so damn delicious.
Oh my God.
Anyway, speaking of flipping sets, they eat at the same restaurant 2 different times in this movie in 2 different countries, but also...
It's a franchise page. I've done that too.
Yeah.
It's called McDonald's.
No.
I've also been to McDonald's here and in Japan. It's possible, babe.
No, the same balcony, and it's also the restaurant that was on the island when she was with Nacho. This one beach outlook balcony restaurant is everywhere they go, and it is one of my favorite parts of these movies. It's crazy.
It is crazy.
Anyway, they get to their Airbnb, and Olga is just sitting on the couch drinking champagne and tossing like popcorn or something into her mouth and having a dance break because she's great.
She is pretty great.
Yeah.
Although this is one of the there are so many shots in this that like you should have cut to something else.
Yes.
Like we get a lot of 20-second like walks across frame.
Yeah.
And this is like one of those things you're like, we don't really need to be seeing this.
Yeah.
They did need it because to go the full 2 hours, which it does,
Man.
they really had to pad.
This could have been 90 minutes easy.
This 2-hour movie feels like it was 94 hours long.
There was more padding in this film than my 10th grade girlfriend.
Was she a pillow, Mikey?
Let's just say yes and move on.
Yeah, no. You didn't know her. I met her at camp.
I met her at camp under my bunk. Anyway, they go out for cocktails and they're eyeing the surfers because there's also a surf competition. They go to the same restaurant that's on every island. And who should walk up but Nacho? And they kind of like hide from him, but they kind of like maybe he sees them, maybe not. So they go out to the restaurant that night. And this is where Olga is like, you must tell me what happened. And Laura is like, I'll tell you everything. And then we get a montage of them just reacting to what each other are saying. We don't get them saying the story. We don't get any flashbacks. It's just a montage of Olga receiving this information and being like, oh no, oh my God, that's it.
It's crazy. In a movie that begs the question, wait, what the fuck happened in the movie right before this? They literally show us an unscripted montage of some character in it reliving the events, and we don't get that.
Yeah, we don't get it.
We get to watch her see what happened. But like, I was like, shit, man, I guess the second movie was really good because like, Olga's loving this story.
I like the second one. I think the second one is madness. And I think it's way more crazier than the first one, which makes it a little more fun.
Sure.
Anyway, so this one, they go out, they get drunk, they come back, and on the rooftop of the Airbnb, Laura falls asleep and dreams about Nacho and wakes up the next day and has to go to the fashion show that is also in a dance club.
I cannot tell you how many times I've gone to sleep and dreamt about nachos.
Same. Hard same, but mostly mozzarella stick.
In the Mexican remake of this film, his name is Fajita Nachos.
It was really, really weird when they remade it for Canada and he was called egg rolls. And you're like, really?
I think poutine.
Poutine?
I think poutine is the closest to nachos.
His Canadian nachos? I was just picking something weird. But you're right. Poutine would be the closest to nachos. Imagine a Hallmark version of this movie where a girl has to choose between Matthew and poutine in a Canadian version of
Instead of Massimo and Nacho.
Is Matthew Poutine still alive? I know he was in Stranger Things.
What?
Yeah, wasn't he one of the kids in Stranger Things?
Matthew Poutine.
No, he's the scientist with the white hair.
Oh, that's right. That's who it was.
Lord. Anyway, they go out and Olga gets super drunk, but not before saying the funniest, "Another beer, please." As she's
Yes.
like climbing across the bar.
Olga, famous linguist.
I would like one American beer, is what she said.
She says while in Portugal.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, that, now that I think about it, must be why he's like, this is a local beer.
Yeah.
He says that to her twice.
Yes.
Well, she doesn't understand languages.
Anyway, Vittorio, their bodyguard, comes and takes her back, and he's like, Mrs. Torricelli says that you have to stay in the room now because you're being a problem. And she just says, Mrs. Tortellini can kick my ass. And then we have a bonkers Scooby-Doo style chase between the two of them.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It's
Yeah.
weird.
I mean, actually, this part was sort of funny. It was sort of like we got a Benny Hill style break in the middle of this movie.
I would have loved yakety sax over the top of this, just like, nah, 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 when she's climbing down the fire escapes and stuff.
Yeah.
That would have been great. Because meanwhile, Laura runs into Nacho's sister, Amelia, who is just like, I know he kidnapped you, but he didn't mean it.
Nacho's sister is definitely flautas. Or torta.
Anyway, Nacho is there because the sister's like, spoiler, he's here. And he's like, come on, let's go sit in this very expensive car in silence for a long time.
Yeah. It's like this movie spends way too much time on the shit that doesn't matter to the plot.
Yes.
And like yada yada's plot points. And then there's also some, I think, pretty mediocre sex scenes in it.
Yeah, I mean, I would say the first one has the best sex scenes. The second
The
one...
first 365?
Yes.
Agreed.
And the second one has the weirdest sex scenes, although the second one does have the one where she ties him up and he like breaks with her nylons, he like breaks them. And yeah, that one's kind of cool.
We can tell which one was Paige's favorite out of that one.
I like that one. But the second one also has the weird twin thing. That's fun. This has neither. It doesn't have the good sex scenes and the story's just not as compelling. But he drives her back to his house where he has left candles on while he's been out all night. I assume he has a staff, but like if he doesn't, oh no. But he's like, I want to show you something. And he has built out on his private beach the only way I would have sex on a beach because sand is a problem.
I wrote this too. I was like, this is how you do sex on a beach.
This is how you do it. Yes.
Because it's like, it's not like a full ass like box spring mattress, but it's like a big ass like mattress, like soft like pad with like a rug on top of that.
Yes. And then blankets on top of that rug.
And then like pillows and yeah.
You might as well just go home at that point. I don't like this glamp fucking.
I'm here for glamp fucking.
No, this is the only way to have sex on a beach. I'm not gonna get my giblets sandblasted on the beach. I'm gonna bring whatever this is.
Yeah, you don't want your meatballs to get sandy.
Nobody likes a sandy meatball.
Nah, bro. I want to role play like I'm at fucking Arrakis, all right? And she's going to ride the worm.
That one's the dick, Paige.
Oh, no.
That one's the dick.
Which one's the dune?
Yo, if you can get a girl to do that, you know you're doing it right.
You know you hit the Lisan Al Gaib or whatever.
Yeah, everyone's talking about the Haktua girl, but if you can get her to go, hiya!
I need you to call me Isa Lisbon, I believe. Yeah.
Exactly. If you can make her praise the Lisan Al Gaib, you know what I'm saying?
And instead of sand, it's just Parmesan cheese. Ole!
So it is written, Paige. So it is written.
In Italian.
Anyway, they have the hottest sex scene in the movie. They bone it out.
The bar's low, though.
Yeah, I mean, this is the best sex scene in the movie because the rest are pretty bad.
Yeah,
but
for
like,
this movie, yeah.
I also fuck with nachos, so I get it.
They can be messy.
Honestly, the best ones are messy. Or Beckham.
I went back and watched the sex scene from Anyone But You because that was my favorite part of the movie because it was a good sex scene. He pulls her hair. I took a screenshot of it. I will send it to you where he's got like a full fist of her hair. I was like, damn.
Paige, you don't have to send me your spank bank material.
I mean, that's why there was rumors they were like, I was like,
But they had no chemistry in the movie except in that scene.
I think they had chemistry in the movie. I liked that movie.
I like the movie.
Natalie was watching it tonight because I was like, you got to watch that movie. And she had just edited that episode.
Yeah.
Because that's the one we finished today. So, like, she's now watching the movie as we record this. So I'll get her verdict after this.
The side characters are fun. I think the main love story has problems. Anyway, we talked about it last week. We don't need to talk about it this week.
I think it's great. I love it, Mikey.
I'm glad we're relitigating this because it's got 4 helicopters, Paige.
Yeah.
There's only 2 helicopters.
No,
4
there
times.
are 2 helicopter parents, Paige, please.
Fine. All right. Anyway, so he drives her back to the hotel the next morning, and she's like, I need time. And he's like, okay, just so you know, I saved your husband's life so that you could choose me over him in this weird, overcomplicated thing I'm going to explain to you.
I fucking loved that he like tries to like guilt her into staying with him. Like by like, I didn't kill your husband because I wanted you to choose me. I didn't want you to have to like suffer for us to be together.
That's
Right.
agape love, Todd.
Does that come with avocado?
No. It's got a side of Alfredo for dipping.
Ooh, give me that pink sauce, baby.
You really just got to find the garlic knot and rub it.
Oh, you are. I think the garlic knot's a myth.
I know garlic knots exist. I have seen them.
Garlic knots are
God.
amazing. I love garlic knots. Let's do this.
Oh, God. Anyway, so she goes back, and who is at the Airbnb but Massimo being like, hey, bitch, where you been? Where you been all night, bitch? And she's just like, I want a divorce. And he's just like, how dare you? And he says, what is this new? And the one part that they didn't quite translate correctly. And they agreed to stay separately. And he goes back to Sicily and says that she has the plane for whatever she needs while she figures her shit out. But my favorite is she's like, there is no us. This white shit has replaced me. And I was like a dog turd? Like, what is she talking about?
I honestly thought she meant like white people shit. Like, look at me, I'm basic now. Now I'm a basic married bitch, and I hate it.
Yeah, I'm going to Home Goods.
I'm gonna fuck with nachos.
That's, well, depends on what's on the nachos.
Tex-Mex.
Then it is white people shit. Yeah. Anyway, so he goes, she talks it out with Olga, and Olga's just like, what are you doing? What happened while I was drunk for 1 day on 14 American beers? Like, what is happening? And she ends up being like, well, I support you no matter what. Go bang it out.
Yeah, because she like calls her on it. Because like Olga is marrying Massimo's like number 2, right?
Domenico,
If she goes with Nacho in this moment or at the end of this movie, she's sort of going to lose her friend too.
Yes.
So I do think Olga has like a vested interest in like choosing the mozzarella side, right?
Right.
And she like calls her on that. And that's when Olga's like, okay, that's fair. And our life would be easier if you did make that choice. But I want you to make the choice that's right for you. I want you to be happy.
Right.
Which I genuinely sort of liked this scene.
Yes.
It's like a nice friend character moment. They're actually acting it in Polish,
Yes.
which I believe is their like native language. So they're not doing a terrible job acting it even.
Yeah.
So like this is like the only scene that like connects at all.
Yeah. Well, and then from there, she goes to see her parents in their weird idyllic cabin where her mom gives us the crazy advice of like, be selfish, but then also I'm going to try and save it with this last sentence, but not quite.
It definitely looks like they sided with a certain side during World War II and were thus not affected because they have a lot of wealth, clearly.
Clearly. Yeah. Well, and her parents were never, because we saw them in the last movie, because her mom is the only person to like slap Massimo and live outside of maybe Laura in a sexual context.
I think it's weird that you think it wasn't a sexual context when her mother slapped him.
Hey, I mean, she's not too old to get it, but
Yeah.
I feel like they weren't necessarily depicted as rich in the past, and then we see them here and we're like, oh,
Yes.
they're hella rich.
Yeah.
I think Massimo gave him money.
Maybe.
They definitely found some of that gold the Nazis stole and stashed. You know what I'm saying?
Something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I cringe, but you know who else who did that? Indiana Jones, and I love that guy.
Can you hate Indiana? Yeah, I guess you can't for that. I didn't realize he stole Nazi gold.
Well, not really. The government stole it from him.
Right.
Well,
Didn't he turn it over to the government? Like,
Taxation is theft.
God damn it. Did you think about the taxation is theft joke when you set me on the Indiana Jones journey? Because that is like 40 chess.
You know, I like that office. You know, like when I start a sentence or a joke.
We never know where we're going. That is the truth.
We don't know where we're going.
That is the truth. I love it. It's amazing.
Anyway, this is when Laura dreams, and first she's having sex with Massimo, then Nacho is also there, and then Nacho and Massimo get together.
They full on kiss, baby.
They make out. It's not just a kiss.
Yeah.
Like, there's tongues in each other's mouths. Like, they go for it. And when people ask them about it, like the actors, they were like, we're best friends.
How dare her have a dream like that so close to the Pope?
You mean because he's like, you stole my dream?
They're too old for him.
Oh, you think Mikey's the one that went too far? Not the church page?
No, not at all. Spoiler, there's no fun facts for this other than things that I just randomly Googled, like the fact that they're best friends and they're like, kissing is normal.
The fact that who are best friends? You mean like in real life, Nacho and Massimo?
Yeah, Nacho and Massimo are like real best friends.
I don't know that kissing like they kiss in this movie is normal in that culture, but like I do think over there kissing on like the cheek or even on the lips, kissing a friend on the lips is not that weird over there. This is a different kind of kiss. This is like a very sexual kiss.
My friends always get mean about it.
Wait, you always get mean about it when you kiss?
No, he says my friends always get mean about it, and I'm like, I've been ducking and dodging for years. Dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge. Anyway, they make out. They hardcore make out. And you know what? I'm not mad at it. I'd watch it.
Paige.
You did watch it.
Yeah.
I did.
We all watched it. That was the requirement you made.
I'm going to rewind it later. But anyway, she goes on a motorcycle date with her dad, mostly in silence. They don't even really talk. It's the most useless part of the movie.
They literally go on a motorcycle date to a lemonade stand in the city.
Yeah.
So she can say, remember when you used to buy me lemonade? And he can say, you'll always be my little girl. Scene. That's it. And it's fucking 5 minutes of like them driving through the Polish countryside on a motorcycle. It is just music video after music video. This movie has more music videos than MTV in its heyday.
Well, and then they sit down to eat, and she's like, I like being with you because I can eat as much as I want, and Mom won't comment on it. And I was like, what a dark reveal about your relationship with your mother. Are we going to address it? And then she's like, no, her phone rings, and it's Olga, and she's like, Massimo knows you've been fucking nachos. And she's like, well, I guess I gotta go back and get murdered.
I guess I gotta go home and face the music.
So she goes back to Sicily.
I've got a joke for y'all.
Okay.
What do you call an angry counselor?
What?
Therapist.
Oh, shit. This is not a joke. I missed my therapy appointment today.
Oh, no.
Hannah is gonna be therapist for sure.
Oh,
Fuck. I literally,
sorry.
that is not.
She's going to charge you that no-show fee, and she had an extra long break today.
Honestly, she deserves it, man. My life is insane right now, and she doesn't need that burden.
Anywho, she goes back to Sicily, and the car picks her up, and who should it be behind the wheel? Nacho.
It is insane.
He's Nacho driver.
Exactly.
She door-dashed Nacho.
But he literally was like, I'm going to let you go so you can make this decision. And then he like gets there faster than she does. Oh, I guess she went to Poland first. That's
Poland,
right.
yeah.
That's right.
But yeah, he picks her up, and it's just like, I had to see you, and I know I said I'd give you time, but oh well.
And he's also like, and remember, the fact that I'm here means I could be killed and my father could be killed. So like, the implication is you have to.
Right. So she gets out, and Olga is just like, what the fuck? Why'd you bring him here? And then Olga's like, happy birthday, by the way, because it is exactly 365 days from the first movie.
I've always said it, Paige. These titles, fucking genius.
Genius. And Olga goes, I bought you a nice bag, but if you die, I'll keep it for myself. Okay, good luck. Like he's on the beach.
Honestly, Olga is an honest friend, and I love it.
Well, maybe if you and your friends end up being with people who could realistically murder you when they are angry at you, it's not a good relationship.
It's not great.
I would say, gnocchi, it's not a good relationship.
That's a pasta.
But what if he's got the risotto?
I wish the rival gang was Pastafarian.
Anyway.
Oh, my God.
So she goes out to the beach, and Massimo basically is like, stop. I just got to get all this off my chest and then we can talk. But like, if I don't say this now, I'm not going to get it all out. I am sorry. I feel like I ruined this and I treated you badly and it's been bad and you couldn't trust me with the information about the baby because you didn't feel safe. And I ruined the one thing I really loved, which was our relationship. And I am so sorry. And she's like, wait, so you knew about Nacho this whole time and didn't murder me in my sleep? And he's like, yes, because as my dad once told me, if you love something, let it go. If it comes back, it's yours. That's how you know it's what keeps you. It's for sure. You know, like Christina Aguilera. And then she was like, you'll also be a wonderful father someday. And he just goes, are you back, baby girl? While a weird song that just says 1,000 color paintings
Paige,
plays.
I'm not even joking. 2 full minutes
Yes.
of circular camera
Yes.
that just spins around both of our principal characters.
Yes.
It is so long.
And then out to sea around a boat that we have no relation to.
It's insane.
It's just one of those like photo booth things.
Booths
It
with all the
is.
cameras.
It is like that.
the one you did at the food food fair.
Whoa.
But he just goes, are you back, baby girl?
And that's the
movie.
So having seen the movie, having talked about the movie, what'd you guys think about whatever the fuck 365 this one was?
I think I'm mad at Paige.
I think I'm
Well,
mad
all
at Paige too, honestly.
Well, fuck y'all, and I'm not sharing my mozzarella sticks with you. I think the second one is the funniest and the craziest. I think the second one's my best.
Yes, I think the first is the sexiest.
The second
one's
funniest.
the funniest. And this one made me want every main character to die horribly.
Doesn't mean I'm not going to be excited to watch the next one to see how crazier it can get. But I have to ask each of you, Nacho or Massimo, which way you going?
I think that it's fair in life that if you find yourself in a situation like this, which I have, where you literally can choose between maybe a little bit more stability and maybe a little bit more crazy, you also have the option of neither.
True.
And you can walk away. And that's what I think Laura should do. And that's what I should have done.
Sure.
I think Laura's gonna fuck them both.
She already has fucked them both.
Yeah, I mean, throuple is also an option. Like, you could walk away, you could choose either one, or you can try and talk them into a throuple. As I was watching this, was like, oh, Nacho's the clear choice because Massimo kidnapped her. And I was like, wait, Nacho also kidnapped her. And I was
so
like,
you're saying she has a type? Yeah, we know.
Okay. I love nachos. I don't like the guy who paid to have his daughter admitted to college, whose name is also Massimo, Lori Laughlin's husband.
You expect me to know Lori Laughlin's husband's name? I don't.
Let me educate you all on good humor and ice cream and jokes.
Okay, so you're going to walk away? We're all walking away?
No, I'm choosing Nacho, I think. I don't think
Okay.
Nacho's tied to the crime life quite
No,
like
he
Matcha.
is, isn't he?
I agree.
I think he would give it up for her.
Isn't he like the son, heir apparent of the other rival island gang?
And he's a championship surfboarder. And he's also really nice to her.
He is really nice to her.
That man is screaming, not maybe quite as many red flags as Massimo, but he still's got some reds.
He still has red flags.
Oh, yes. But Laura is not going to walk away and go meet a normal person and settle down.
Not after this, no.
No, not before this, not after this, not ever.
No. She's now, every time going forward, she's like, I don't think he's into me. He hasn't like kidnapped me for a year.
He hasn't kidnapped me or anything. I feel like Nacho seems really nice now, and then once they get into the relationship, he will become controlling.
Yes.
Much in the way that Massimo is very publicly.
100%.
But is it just because they're Italian?
No, I think because they have narcissistic personality traits.
I said Italian, Paige.
Yeah.
Look, she's doing it. She's doing
I was flipping
it.
you off with Italian hands.
She's doing Italian flip off. But we know that Italy lost the war because they were only dropping love bombs.
Well, the Vespa mechanized unit didn't do well.
Didn't do great. Controversial statement. I think I would pick Massimo because I think
He would choke you the best.
they both have big hands. No, I think you could potentially build an empire.
She could make shirts with just the word Massimo on it, and they're kind of blurry, and sell it to a bunch of middle schoolers.
That's such a good joke.
Put them in every
specifically
Target.
for our generation.
Oh, great.
They could wear it with their Van sneakers.
You could.
I do think Van Sneakers should do a campaign where the slogan is "Get in the fucking van."
I feel like that would go bad, and now it makes me question your career in marketing.
Paige, you know what's real fucked up? I'm so good at it.
Well, it's like me and de-escalation. You got to know how to escalate to de-escalate.
You know
You know
what
what
I'm
I'm saying? You got to go. You got to go back and forth.
Sure.
Free candy, buy Vans.
I am going to get white vans that just have free candy written on the side.
Vans. Vans. We're going to get kids inside us one way or another.
That's why they're the Pope's exclusive shoe.
I'm just picturing a print ad with 500 white van shoes lined up that just says 500 feet away from schools, white vans.
Guys, we're going to have a dozen longboarders really upset with us.
All right. I have a confession to make.
Oh, yeah.
I have a motorized longboard.
Ask him how many times he's fallen off of it.
I've only been gone a month and you've made these choices.
I don't have your older brotherly guidance, Mikey. It's honestly, Mikey, it's great. I have fallen once, as Paige alluded to, up a hill. I don't want to get into it.
You didn't even get like a real one where you pedal and everything?
Well, first off, you don't pedal skateboards, never have, never will. But I figured it was better to have a skateboard that has gas and a brake. That way I don't have to do that much.
Oh, yeah, I got one of those. It's a fucking car.
I mean, I have one of those too, Mikey.
Anyway, no, there's no fun.
Well, Paige, also, there's no box office. This was filmed at the same time the second movie was, and they didn't release a budget for this part of it. So
It is ushered in the end times, which you see taking place today.
If you'll look out, you'll see 4 horsemen coming in from the right.
And they're making out.
you know, the very famous 4 horsemen, rigatoni,
Yeah.
spaghetti, macaroni,
Farfalle.
and pane.
They're on Stone Mountain. This is a very weird reference.
In Georgia?
Yeah.
Why are they in Georgia?
Well, Stone Mountain has 4 guys on horses on the mountain.
Yeah, it does.
They're all Confederate generals.
Yeah, I was going to
Which
say, I was
hasn't
like,
aged well.
Since you told the joke 30 seconds ago?
nope. And he could have gone Georgia Guidestones also, because Georgia had got hella weird end time stones.
Those got kidnapped.
Yeah.
For 365 days.
Todd, what are we watching next week?
We haven't even done the romance scale or the roar scale. Paige,
Okay,
let's do
fine.
the romance scale.
On a scale of 1 to 4, because Mikey said it
Or
was
wait, should we have Mikey do it? Mikey, do you
Oh,
want
yeah. On a scale of 1 to 4, the answer's 1.
Oh, are you not? Okay, yeah. Okay.
It's how romantic we found the
There you
film
go.
today. You could have used context clues, but I had to spell it out to you.
I think 1, obviously, but the roar scale, at least a 2 for that nacho scene on the beach.
This is an 11 for me. 2 1s back to back. Not romantic, not sexy.
That's the correct answer.
Thank you.
I do think if memory serves, the last movie, the second one has the highest roar scale we've ever given a movie.
I think that's the one that started the roar scale, right? Because after
did,
as
yeah.
he rips the
Because there's
pantyhose
an
up,
audible
Yeah.
lion roar sound effect, yes.
which it's only audible because Massimo actually makes that sound.
From deep inside.
So is Mufasa.
Mustafo.
Oh, sorry. That's the romance scale. That's it.
Yeah. So this week, Paige, you made us watch the last 365 movie, hopefully.
Nope, definitely another one, but sure.
Great.
Yeah, we'll see. What are you going to make us watch next week?
I'm not. You get to choose.
Yeah, so next week, I'm going to make you guys watch the new Anne Hathaway movie, and it's got a guy who's been in a bunch of other movies we've recently done. I saw a preview for it while I was watching something else on Amazon Prime, and it looked pretty great. And it's The Idea of You. So that's your
Yay.
homework for next week.
Okay, I'm going to set you up with I love the movie.
Okay?
Okay.
Hated the ending so much.
Nice.
I have heard that it changed from the book and that the book has a different ending.
Okay, y'all tell me about it later.
Yeah. We'll watch it. You could just listen to the episode, Mikey. You'll hear it. Yeah.
I subscribe.
Do you listen?
What is this, an Adderley? World War II Adderley?
So, yeah, guys, if you like this power throuple that we have here on this podcast, make sure to check out our other podcast, The Horror Virgin. And that is the only other podcast that Mikey and I are on. But Paige gets around, and she is on 2 other podcasts, Black Card Rehab and Cult Podcast. So, guys, definitely check out those because they're amazing. If you want to follow us on social, we are at Romancing the Pod Show.
Yes.
On Instagram, and we are at something else on Twitter who I just have never taken the time to learn
It's just Romancing Pod Show because they have a character limit and it's show, SHO, like Showtime.
So guys, check that out as well. And if you want to follow us all individually, Paige is at Rampage Wesley everywhere, including TikTok, except for Twitter, where she is at Paige Wesley. Mikey is at mrandolph24, and I am at Todd J. Awesome everywhere. And guys, we got a P.O. box. So if you want to send us some love letters or whatever you might send to a P.O. box, it's actually not a P.O. box. It's like a regular street address. It's pretty awesome. It's 6688 Nolensville Road, number 108-34, Brentwood, Tennessee 37027. So send us some stuff.
Yeah.
That's going to be it for us, you guys. I'm Paige.
I'm Mikey.
And I'm Todd.
And you complete us.
To completion.
I want Alfredo sauce all over your face. That was too aggressive. I'm sorry.
Mikey, that wasn't aggressive. You said that like you were like the laziest lover ever. I'm going to like Alfredo sauce on your face or whatever.
That's like, I got to throw it out there, see if they'd be open to it. You can't go, you got to like
joke about it first.
Yeah, I'm like, wouldn't it be funny?
If you got like some Alfredo sauce on your face, that'd be so funny, right?
Well, we tried that once.
And you're like, it's fine. I got some cooking videos for you to watch.
Corn Hub.
Bye.